I'm going to be reviewing some bad movies. I didn't really want to rewatch them because they're bad. Okay, there's College Road Trip. Literally just an overprotective dad. Doesn't want his son to, his daughter to go to college and stuff. It was not that good. Then you got Fred 3. I watched this when I was a kid. I found it very annoying. I only like John Cena. Movie 43. It's just like Family Guy levels jokes. It wasn't too awful, but I did not like the sketch at the end written by James Gunn with the cartoon cat that wants to bang its owner. I found that disgusting. Cop and a Half New Recruit is a sequel to the first Cop and a Half movie, but not really. It's just a new movie, but they used the same premise. My grandma forced me to watch that. I didn't find it good. Project Alchemact. I was interested in the time travel elements until the guy became an obsessive stalker and wanted to force this girl to be his girlfriend and stuff, and then terrible stuff happens, and then he dies, and then the cycle repeats. Freddy Frogface is just a bad animated movie, but not as bad as Ivan the Incredible. Literally, everyone's so mean to him, even his dad, and even then, even though he got his son's girlfriend, the world still hates him. I'm just like, why? Mr. Woodcock, they're like, oh, let's get the guy from Bad Santa to bully this adult kid. This adult man and stuff. And literally, the main character. He's like, I don't like any of this, and try to tell his mom and stuff. And of course, the mom didn't believe that he was bullying this kid. It was just, and then Mr. Woodcock starts dating his mom, or was dating his mom during the movie. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't funny. Employee of the Month. It's a sort of good bad movie. I did like the twist at the end that literally just the guy was going super fast. The bad guy was going super fast with, cheating and stuff, and literally missed just one thing of milk because he does like a special move, and literally that's how he got put on parole and stuff. That was fine, but the rest of the movie is just kind of bad. Bushwhacked. It had the guy Marv from the Home Alone movie, and he trying to scam these kids into thinking they're in a camp and stuff, and then he gets tortured basically. And it's just that. I guess he's a terrible guy, but it wasn't that funny, I believe. And then you got White Chicks. This was a funny bad movie. I did like Terry Crews's character, even though he was a bit creepy and stuff. Are We There Yet? It's just no. I watched the sequel to that movie when it was on Netflix called Are We Done Yet? Or maybe I watched both. I don't remember. But I remember Are We Done Yet? I don't know. Just the premise is he just wants to take them somewhere. And then, the kids cause trouble for him in both movies. And then he's the one that has to learn a lesson. Just, Jay and Silent Bob 2 Strikes Back. Just studio stuff. I think it was bad, but I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. Mordecai was just, I don't know, a bad movie, I believe. Or maybe just okay. I don't know. Watched Paul Blart, the first one. I reviewed the second movie. I enjoyed the second movie more than the first movie. The movie just the first movie's kind of standard and stuff, so I gave it like a C, but no, I had to, just the same joke. Oh, he's too fat and stuff. But at least, in that movie he trained. There was a little bit more of a good story. An okay story, because the second movie's like a D plus, but the first movie's a C. But still, it's like nothing to write home about. Legend of Hercules. I saw this movie when it came out in 2015. The only scene I liked from it was when he got locked up on pillars and then he broke out. But then I rewatched that scene and it was weak. So that's like the only thing I remember from the movie. So the whole movie must be bland. Guys, at least Clash of the Titans, even though I think that movie's a C, at least I enjoyed that well enough, mostly because of the main character and his love interest and stuff, and it has some good action. Sucker Punch, it's literally just a fever dream, and literally the main character got lobotomized at the end. Most of the movie is just it's just all in her head, and I'm like, dude, this is dumb. And like literally her abusive stepdad or dad, I don't remember, was super awful to her. I think he R-worded her too, and he never gets his comeuppance, I think. The in Dr. Parnasum, the Emporium of Dr. Phanasm, that was a weird movie and it was kind of bad. Andrew Garfield was in that movie. He was a little bit mistreated and stuff, especially when the guy had to switch his skin and stuff, most because he was ashamed of himself. But in production reasons was because Heath Ledger died, so they had to replace him with multiple actors. Tooth Fairy, that was a bad Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie where he has to learn to be a good dad. And I'm like, it's fine, just like should have had a little bit something more. Into the Woods was a bad Disney musical. It was funny because I went for a potty break when I watched the movie in theaters, and literally when I came back, the Chris Pine and the other prince were singing about how they were going to trick these two princesses and stuff. And I'm like, what just happened? The rest of the movie wasn't that great. Okay, then there's Dirty Grandpa, which is just the main character's grandpa, because the guy is just kind of a little bit stuck up and doesn't learn how to have fun and stuff, and he's gonna get married, and grandpa has to teach him to let go of stuff, but it's literally just bullying him, making him cheat on his wife and stuff and do stuff, and then the grandpa's like, oh, you're in the wrong here, and the movie's like, yes, he's in the wrong, he should. It was just annoying from what I remember. I don't know, I don't want to rewatch the movie. Then you got Daddy's Home, which is literally just about the stepdad played by Will Ferrell, and he treats his kids well and stuff. But then, their original dad appears, and he's supposed to be this hardcore thing played by Mark Wahlberg, and the kids love him and stuff, but they hate the stepdad, even though like the stepdad was just being good, and literally the wife was also like, oh, I'm in love with. I actually like the strong personality from Mark Wahlberg. You're a bit of a beta. And I'm like, dude, then why marry him? Why? Like, geez, that was annoying. And then literally Will Ferrell got pissed off and stuff. He went a little bit overboard, but it was justified. I think. No, Mark Wahlberg didn't deserve redemption in this movie, so I don't want to watch the movie ever again. Then you got this movie Tales from the Hood too. There's only like 2 sketches. I like the one with the scam guy, and then the overarching story with the robot, and that's about it. The worst story was about the ghost that want the main character to kill himself so they could save the black population. They're like, yeah, I don't know. It was just confusing. Okay, that's it.